The things that I say are true, and that's why I say them to you. Yes, you do. Let me tell you, la 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 means I love you. Wait, let me go. La 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 means I love you. I'm getting good at that, y'all. Yeah, it's ready to play again, y'all. Get all that messed up energy away from me. Give all that aqua blue out tonight. The blue argonite. Give that energy out to everybody. All right, my friend, you're heavy as hell. Well, good morning to all the chocolate mountaineers out there. This is the Chocolate Mountain Show, and I am your super funky host, Big Pontiac. I'm also the holder of the spiritual infinite ball game that was created by the Hero Twins. And I'm also your galactic daddy-o, welcoming each and every one of the Chocolate Mountaineers on my galactic patio that reaches from Minnesota to the universe. Very special occasion tonight. The best beer in the world by Boulder Beer, dark chocolate porter, or they call it just simply the shake. So definitely pop them if you got them. Don't you wish you were me like right now? Don't you wish you were me? Don't you wish you were me pouring this chocolate amber goodness? Don't you wish you were me right now? Don't you? Don't you? Look at that. And we are still definitely smoking on the Yukon Wolf Evolve Plus. So if you need something plus, so smoke them if you want them. What Jamie Foxx say? You better blow that shit out. Well, don't some of y'all owe me money? I think some of y'all bet me last night. Wasn't that some of y'all bet me? I'm trying to get all my money tonight. A lot of sucker bets tonight. Guess how far back do we go? The Boston game was crap. Did y'all see? Let me see. Did I write this? Durant had 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter alone. 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter alone. Durant has averaged 6 turnovers a game. 6 a game. 6 turnovers a game. Now, this was what made no sense about that game. At one time, they had Irving, Patty Mills, and Seth out there. Who they guarding? Irving, Patty Mills, and Seth. And then they brought in freaking Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin had to hit a line before he came out there. Y'all see how he was? You see that? Why was Blake Griffin in there? But to try to play defensive with Patty Mills, Seth, and Irving in there told you all you need to know. And then when they put a random player in there that ain't been playing, that's all you need to know. But that made no sense to play those 3 together. They can't guard anybody. Patty Mills is only in the league because he's from Australia. That's the only reason Patty Mills. He got with that Army intelligence dude, and it's the same foreign-born players. Patty Mills should have never got the opportunity. You can't tell me they looked at camp and saw that this short dude could hit threes, that he needed to be in the league. Do you know what I mean? Short dudes can hit threes in America that don't get that opportunity? Oh, that just infuriates me that he in the league and Shotty Vaughn ain't in the league. Oh, what's happening, everybody? Hey, Lorenzo, what's happening, man? Did you see the fight, Lorenzo? Did you watch the fight tonight? You got to admire Tyson Fury. You got to like the way that dude fight. I mean, even though he stepped on dude's foot, and you got to watch that again. He stepped on dude's foot and then uppercutted him. And dude couldn't, first comment, yeah. Hey, what's up? What's good? Hey, PJ. Yeah, the fight was decent, but he stepped on his foot to knock him out. Hey, Mac. Thank you for joining me, Brother E. Chocolate Amber, got to try some one day. Yeah, if you can find this is Boulder. This shit's good. It's called The Shake, but it's Boulder beer. This comes out of Colorado, but it's called The Shake. Dark chocolate porter. It is great. It is really great. It's my favorite beer for. Hey, Conspiracy University. You watched the fight, Conspiracy? See him step on his foot and knock him out? I clearly saw Durant throwing the game within 3 turnovers in the. Let me get this right. No. 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter. Crucial turnovers, too. Crucial turnovers in the fourth quarter alone. He ended up with 6. He averaging 6 for the game. So you can see when Durant is scripting games, you can see Patty was balling in the past Olympic Games. That was highlighted. Of course, they're going to push him for that. Of course, to show that he legitimately is supposed to be there. But you saw Lonzo Ball was over there playing in that Australian league. That league ain't that strong. Dudes was used to now. Dudes, when we used to have guys, we weren't sending dudes to Australia like that. Dudes before dudes would go to Australia, they would go play in Big Red. Let me see. Big Red ended up going to play in Israel. It was like you played in London, you played in trying to think the high leagues. There was a high league in London, Germany, maybe it was Berlin had a high league, and it was Israel. But it wasn't, Australia was not considered one of the high leagues. At one time, going in the Philippines was considered being a high league, then going over to Australia. I mean, Dane Cook, I think that was his name, Cook. That's where he went. When the NBA blackballed him, he went to the Philippines. I had one of my friends, Damian Patterson, that played at Oklahoma. Damian, for about 3 years, gave up his U.S. citizenship and just lived over there. He was like, screw it. And then he came back. Damian came back. But Durant, right here, Durant's turnover at 9:50. Durant had a turnover at 9:50. Okay, now this okay, but Durant had a crucial turnover at the 550 mark. That was a crucial the 950 mark. But they said something interesting. I don't know, like if you read Daugherty's book, they tell you that the worse a referee was, the quicker he became a referee, a supervisor. I mean, that's one thing you got to get out of Daugherty's book. If you read Daugherty's book, that's what he tells you. And Jeffrey that's working for ESPN is one of them. But they said something interesting. I don't know if they called this. They said that in the NBA, so if I shoot and I give I hit him like this, they said that ain't a foul. I've never heard that before. In college and high school, if on the follow through you smack a dude's hand, that's a foul. They said that wouldn't be a foul. So I had never heard that before, that if you smack a hand, that's not a foul in the NBA. I've never heard that. I know sometimes you hear people say the ball and the ball and the hand are in some instances the same thing. I've rarely personally experienced that. I've never heard that before. If you give a guy you foul him and you hit his hand, that's not a foul. What's the difference between hitting his hand and hitting his wrist? It's all a foul. So, and on the Timberwolves game, I want to say this. Edwards' injury seemed fake. Edwards' injury seemed fake, and he came right back out. Towns did have 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter alone. The team had 5. But the Timberwolves, now this is what's interesting. The Timberwolves shot, again, I want to say they ended up 16 out of 28 from the 3. So they shot slightly, as a team, they shot slightly above 50% from the 3. Matter of fact, that might have been that wouldn't have been it. At the end of the third quarter, they are 15 out of 27. So I'm not sure what the rest of it was. And then Towns personally went 3 out of 5 from the threes. He had 30 plus points. So that was kind of some of my takes of the games tonight. What did y'all saying? Yeah, it was clear as hell. I feel a ritual coming soon pertaining to the foot or refereeing getting stepped on. Yeah, it was very clear, and that is against the rules. Very clear. You can't hit them, and you can't step on their foot and hit them. And if they knock down, it's counted out, and you let them recover. So I tried to catch a live stream for the fight, but the side I watched, it wasn't working. So I saw the highlight, and I admire Friday's skills, even though he got tagged and Fury more like pushed. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I admire, like, even though he'll do anything, like, dude elbowed him a couple times and tried to cut Tyson Fury. So he got a little of his own medicine tonight. I'll say that. But his skills. And he had the Red Cross gloves on, which is the Knights Templars. Did y'all check that out? He was wearing the Knights Templar gloves. I was telling tonight, Knights Templar gloves. Yeah, I tried about 3 streams before I found one. I called my friend. I was like, Tony, which one you got? And Tony told me the one was working. So, I mean, it was $70. I wasn't gonna pay that shit. $70? Come on, I wasn't gonna pay that. Him down to get the knockout. Yeah, he stepped on his foot. Yeah, stepped on his foot. You talking about Daquan Cook that went to OSU, played for Miami Heat, won a 3-point contest. He's my cousin. Oh, okay, bet. Daquan Cook. Me? Talking about Quick Cook? Okay. All right, that's your cousin. Bad. Salute, chat. Hey, brother James. But just Fury does so many. He's one of the few fighters, other than I would say Money Mayweather, that really, in his style, you see the history of boxing. I mean, you really do. He uses a lot of everything. I mean, I go back and watch his old fights just to see his skill level. His skill level is really, really great. Really great. Hey, Black Trunks. Thank you. Thank you, Black Trunks. Thank you. You watched the fight tonight? I miss anybody else? Yeah, I got Brother James. They tried to do it on Willis Reed and Paul Pierce with Anthony Edwards. You can see him walking on the right knee while going to the locker room. Yeah, that's what I didn't understand. And then they put a different compression on him when he came back. So I was like, what is that about? Because you see he had the 2 compressions on, but I was like, when he fell, I was like, ain't nothing wrong with him. Because he was dribbling he had went up and down several times and he dribbling. I think they told him to come out for a minute, or maybe he had to crap or something. I don't know. I still some Illuminati shit with Fury a couple fights ago. You don't know. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely with all that. Man, they're gonna destroy KD's legacy. He gonna destroy it himself. And I couldn't get any shots of Spike Lee wearing the Jackie Robinson on national TV. I wanted to, if Lobo's out there, get a shot of Spike wearing that Jackie Robinson. I was just like, come on, Spike. But again, you know, he pushed it then, knowing do the right thing where he wearing the Jackie uniform. He knew even back then. You know, we was the ones that might have not known, but he wore the Jackie Robinson. Come on. So very bogus. But KD, and why don't he cut his hair? I don't get that. Like, if you're gonna wear your hair close, why keep BB shots? Like, why keep BB shots in your hair instead of just zipping it? I don't get it. You got the male pattern baldness going. Tyson Fury is basically a heavyweight Mayweather. I didn't get to see the fight because I was watching the Memphis, Minnesota game. The refs are involved in the playoffs more than ever in this season. Somewhat. They somewhat are. I saw bad calls both ways. Kind of both ways I thought it was equal amount of bad calls. I watched the Fury fight though. I started messing with stuff to get it, and then I called my guy, and he was like, "It's on such and such. Try this." And so we tried it and put the stuff in, and it came through. So, you know, I was going back and forth, but I wasn't going to pay for it. I definitely wasn't going to pay $70 plus tax. Come on, get out of here for that. And he beat him in the 6th where Conspiracy University. You notice how dude was totally spent in the 6th round. He had his mouth open the whole 6th round. And, you know, when you get hit, this is where you can get your jaw broke. But watching that 6th round, he's tired. The White, he was tired as shit the 6th round. Tired as shit. And I'll say this, White started off really nice. I mean, he did a lot of things to counter him, which was nice. I mean, really for real boxing lovers, the beginning rounds was really interesting because just the way to the styles. But when White was trying to, you know, kept elbowing him, he was trying to cut him. You know, he's trying to get elbow, but that's giving Fury his own business back. So I just saw Sports Center. What does it say? I just saw Sports Center and a nice Templar flag on Tyson Fury. Yeah. Yes, Knights Templar. Knights Templar. So that's showing you right there. I gave my son my white Jackie Robinson. I actually had a black one. No, I haven't wore it. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with wearing it, you know. You gave it to, you know, there ain't nothing wrong with giving it to him. Ain't nothing wrong with wearing it. I'm saying that you know what it is, so that's cool that you know what it is. But you know what's funny? You must have read my mind because I was about to say, the jerseys are sweet. I was just about to say that. I was like, the jerseys are sweet. The Jackie Robinson jerseys are sweet. You can't deny that. And then if you get the Brooklyn hat, that's kind of sweet looking. So, but if you know, then you know. I got the Connie Hawkins Pittsburgh Pipers. It's number 42. KD was very passive tonight. Like he got the call not to be himself. Remind me of when LeBron shit down in Miami versus Dallas in the finals. Now, let me tell you the mocking they did. This is the mocking. They said the way KD was and the good defense that was played on him by Boston reminded them of the good defense played on by that Air Force or excuse me, Army intelligence officer. They want to tell you that's a coach, but he really Army intelligence, that they played so good a D on LeBron when they swept LeBron. Okay, that's what they tried to say. Yeah. Hey, Mr. T Gaming, thank you for joining me. I wasn't going to pay 70, no boxing match. That's more than it was back in the day. Exactly. I wasn't paying that shit. And taxes, that shit would have probably been 100 and some after taxes. Are you going to put some respect on? Get out of here. Boo, boo. No, we're not putting no respect because that was the same play we saw, the exact same play we saw Boston beat the Nets with last week. It was the same play, except they just one double team. This time And you look at my video, you clearly see him hit his man with his arm, the old man with his arm, to slow him down so he couldn't slide. I mean that. uh, I think they paying KD to look trifling and not brushing his hair. That's a good point. That's a good point. I think I kind of wonder that as well. Or that's just him saying, I know it's BB shots, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I like BB shots. Like the brow wouldn't cut his brow, unibrow forever. Made no sense. Yeah, they dope UNC. Yeah, they dope, Monk. It's just like, damn, they shaming us. Oh yeah, they're dope. Definitely dope. Definitely dope. Because it's funny. I was just about to say that, but they're nice jerseys, and I held that in. And you said you had one. I was like, yeah, I want to say that because they are nice looking. No doubt about it. They look nice. No doubt. Good outfit for sure. Bruce Brown was the best player. All of a sudden, KD ain't aggressive anymore. That's a good point. Brown had what? He ended up, what, 26, 27? Yeah. I never thought about it till you said something. Hell, I thought it was a Scotland flag. Yeah, that's that nice Templar shit. Yeah, that was nice Templar stuff. The Red Cross is nice Templar. When they brought the Red Cross and put them in New York Harbor or whatever harbor they landed in America, well, that's Templar shit. Wow, I didn't even catch them saying that. Yeah, that's what they said. That's what they said in might have been the third or beginning of the fourth quarter. Yep. See, Minnesota won. Yeah, Kincaid, they won. They won about 10, 15 minutes ago. The NBA is playing KD to cut his hair. Not to cut his hair. Yeah, they have the BB shots, and BB shots look ridiculous. Every entertainment events are expensive now. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And let me tell you, I forgot to even tell PJ this. Y'all gonna be mad at me. No, not me. No, not mad at me. I'm gonna tell y'all who we need to be mad at. Katie need to do something with these BBs. Yes. And I want y'all to. She went to bed, but I want y'all to be mad at my daughter because I have a friend, very cute friend, that's the people flaked on her, and she had 3 tickets to go to the game. Now there's some seats on the third level that are like right in the front of the third level. She has seats right there. And they're really, of the third level, they're the best seats up there. Yeah. And she had tickets on one of them. She was showing me where the tickets. I was like, oh, so she's very cute. And my daughter's like looking at her, like, I don't have any clothes. I'm like, you have a key. You live 5 minutes away from me. We can go get an outfit. And she's like, oh, I don't want to go. And my mother went out today, and this is my weekend. So I was like, so I didn't go to the game tonight. I had a chance, and my daughter kind of killed the action. She looked at her, and she's met her a few times, but she's looked at her like my daughter looks at her like, you think you cute. That's how my daughter looks at her every time. And so she ended up going. She found, a couple other folks to go. Very last minute though. But yeah, boo on my daughter. We need to wake her up and boo on her. They doing him dirty. He doing himself dirty if he agreed with that stupid shit. They left his ass open for the game winner alley oop. Oh, that was so ridiculous. So ridiculous. So ridiculous. How much was boxing matches back in the day? I heard concerts were 10 or less, even for the music artists. Larger were those prices. I want to say the greatest fight of the 20th century was Ali Frazier. And I want to say that ringside tickets was something like $150 back then. I think for that fight, and maybe I'm wrong, but if I remember right, some of them tickets was like 25, 30. And this was 70, 71. I was in 4th grade. I didn't want to go to school after Ali lost. The little girl that I ended up choking on the bus, she was like, Ali said that he was gonna crawl across the ring if he lost, and he didn't crawl. And I'm like, if you don't get out of my face, you're gonna be crawling on the floor. And this was like the year before integration. We could choose to go to, get bussed. Now, Becky Hardy. Yeah, I had to end up choking Becky Hardy. Concerts. Yeah, concerts weren't too bad. I think the $10 concerts, though, you talking about way back in the day. Trying to think. When was Hammer? Hammer was before. I want to say Hammer was before my son was born. So when I saw Hammer, yeah. When I saw Hammer, I didn't pay $100 for 4 tickets because I took my sister, her best friend, my ex-wife, and myself. Yeah, and I didn't pay. Yeah, I didn't pay $100. We had good tickets. I didn't pay $100. So yeah, that was probably 87, 88. Yeah. So for 4 tickets back, yeah, I didn't pay $100 to see Hammer. I'm trying to think. When would it have been more expensive? Who else would I saw? See. And then shoot, all the people I saw in the early '80s when I went to school on A&T, some of that came with came with going to school. What's your take on Trae Young? I believe him and Luka will be compared for the entirety of their careers like Magic and Bird. I must admit they must see TV. I've seen Trae in person. Okay, bet Black Trunks, bet. Dang, what's in my eye? And I've got lotion in my eye. It's got something in my eye. Could be. Well, yeah. Because remember, they traded for each other. So they're always going to be compared because they traded for each other. So that is one thing they're going to always do because of that. And yeah, very right. Like they did Magic and Bird. That was probably the greatest comparison. But just like Grant Hill compared to Chris Webber. Yeah, about the same age. Yeah, Grant Hill, Chris Webber comparison to Jalen Grant Hill. Wide open. Yes. Yep. Pascal versus Mayweather tickets. Those tickets weren't cheap. Pacquiao versus Mayweather. Yeah, them tickets couldn't have been cheap. Choking a girl over a loss of a boxing match. I was in fourth grade. She was tall for her age. Becky Hardy. Even back in the 70s, Becky was being Becky. Yeah, I knew Becky was easy to beat because she was running from somebody that I ended up beating up fairly easy, and she was running from him. And even though he was throwing rocks at her and her brother, which her brother was like older than us, older than me, not older than the guy chasing him. My best friend, first day of school, these people run on the bus and they're like, take off. And my future dude I end up going to college with, he's throwing rocks at the bus. I mean, like big rocks was hitting the back of the bus, breaking the windows. He was like, I'm going to destroy them. And they was like, that's Steve Kirk. And he ended up being one of my best friends in life. But he was terrorizing the neighborhood. They had to creep out their house and walk. And when they saw him, it was run to the bus. Chris was traded for Penny. That's right. Yep, they were compared before the injuries. And I've told you what they did to Chris. They injured Chris his first 2 years. What they did to Kevin Love, remember Kelly Olynyk, when he caught Chris Webber's arm, or he caught Kevin Love's arm, purposely, separating his shoulder. They did Chris Webber like 15 games in or 20 games in. They did Chris Webber like that both years. His first 2 years, same shoulder, that same move. That's why when Kevin Love was hurt, that's why I pointed that out. I'm like, this was on purpose, and that might have been on my old channel. But when Kevin Love got hurt that first year Cleveland, that was on purpose where they separated his shoulder. That was on purpose. Kelly Olynyk, that's why he's still in the league, even though he's sorry. Yeah, and that wasn't a good trade. I would have no way wanted Penny. Didn't need Penny. Chris Webber being right next to Shaq. And they probably, and I don't know. I don't see any way you would make that trade. The thing was, they said Shaq wanted him because they was in the movie together. Chris did have a post game, but this is what Chris was better at than Shaq at that point. Chris had a better inside game, far as didn't depend on having to depend on Duncan. He had a better jump hook game. He had a better short jump shot game. I mean, at that point when Shaq was in Orlando, he's mostly just dunking on people. He really didn't have that touch yet. Chris had that. And so it would have taken a lot of pressure off him. And, you see Shaq didn't really get along with guards that had egos. I was in the playoffs, but yeah, they didn't. Yeah, how the hell wasn't Kelly not suspended for the entire season after that? Yeah, yeah. Actually, that was in the playoffs, but he should have been, and they let it go. And you see, he's still somewhere. Kelly Obrick is still somewhere. That big goofy dude that wears the headband, 7-footer though, like Bobart. I told y'all, Bobart is the one dude that ain't human, and he in commercials. He is not human, but he is human in the sense that he probably was born here. As I've said before, a lot of these, they ain't aliens no more. They've been born here for, I couldn't tell you how long. So they ain't really aliens. We calling them aliens. These people, these beings been born here too. I'm talking about the entire next season. Oh, yeah. That I could have agreed with. Yep. Yeah, I saw Magic having a 4-part doc on Apple TV. Magic have kept fooling the public. He's a nice, lovable guy. Well, they trying to put out the fire from what is showing Magic being on HBO. They come on I think it's tomorrow night. Yeah, they're trying to pour fire on that because they showing that Magic was perverted. They showed sex ritual and where Magic goes to the pimp's place. They show all kind of sex ritual there. So Magic was all about that. And they probably won't show Magic with trans people or Magic with men, which Magic was known to do anybody. Anybody. Magic went in every room. Just look it up. Magic went in every room. Magic and Will Smith, they was two of the ones that know they do anybody and was always ready to do anybody. So that's all they doing with that. That's all they doing with that. People love Magic though. I mean, Magic didn't rub people wrong the way that LeBron does. Magic didn't need all the entourage. They show where Magic screwed himself out of, I think it was hundreds of millions. It was millions, like hundreds of millions, if he would have taken the Nike offered, taking less money now and getting the Nike stock. He later, and you have to look at, this is what they came at Magic with. They say, look, you do this AIDS thing, take this hit. We're going to have to shoot your baby with all these chemicals. But we're gonna make you rich. We're gonna make you rich, and this is what you're gonna accept, and that's what Magic did. Plus, Magic should have got commission because condoms. That's the age thing, was mostly condoms. Like back then, if I would have really put money into the rubber stocks, the condom latex stocks. Oh, he plays for Detroit now. Yeah, I think I saw that. Yep, he plays for Detroit now. So. This is the fun and games they do. They keep him in the league because of that. Like Bobart or whatever his name is should not be in the league. Again, why wasn't he in? Why wasn't their 7'4" dude in? He would have did a better job than the dude who picked his own man so 7-footer could get an alley-oop. On a defense possession, why wouldn't you put another 7-footer in there? Because that would have stopped the alley-oop. I mean, that's coaching. I got a dude on the bench that's 7 foot against this dude that's taller than any of our players. So let's put him in there. And Spider Mitchell getting by people. Come on. Spider Mitchell dang like my height. Yeah. He my height. Why doesn't John Stockton get his respect? He leads the NBA in steals and assists by a wide margin and will never be touched, especially if they shorten the NBA regular season. He is a true point guard. I'll say this though, Black Truth. He was a dirty player in a lot of ways, and a lot of people didn't like him. A lot of people really didn't like him. I would say him and Karl Malone was almost like twins. They was allowed a lot of dirty play, a lot of holding. But he still had to throw them assists. He still got them steals. He was a tough dude. I mean, you can't say he wasn't tough. Were there other guys around America that should have had that spot? Absolutely. He went to Gonzaga when Gonzaga wasn't what it is now, so he really shouldn't have got that chance. But again, they choose people, and he took the most out of it. I agree. I don't think it'll be broken either. Magic is one of those initiates, of course. But he was a wizard. He worked for a wizard. They don't tell you that his name was a wizard. Dr. Buss was a wizard. They don't tell you that. Magic is a real people person, Same with Smith. They work in the room and absorb the energy. They definitely play both sides. They're willing to able to do everything and anything and everything for the fame. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, definitely. Magic's always been like that. Magic is a real. Greg Pop did the same nonsense. Here you go. Population control. But yeah, Magic. I've met, as I said, I've known Magic since I was in sixth grade. I want to say sixth grade when Tuck started bringing him around. He was in the first time I saw him play. Yeah, it had to be he was in sixth because he was in eighth. He was at a scrimmage I was at. He was in eighth grade, and I had to be in sixth grade. And then the following year, he went to Everett. Yeah, because he didn't play in his local high school. Busing, he had the opportunity to go to Sexton. No, Everett, Lansing Everett. He went to Everett. Yeah, he went to Everett. He lived near Sexton. I want to say his brothers went to Sexton, but him and Evelyn went to Everett. And so I saw him when he was in ninth grade. I was in seventh. Met him several times. Really nice guy. Talk shit. How you laughing? Even in pickup ball, he cheat. Even being 6'9", he still cheat. What do you think about Nipsey Hussle situation? I think he played his brother, the character of the brother. That's what it looked like. I mean, here's a dude that is obviously from Africa. Nobody talks about him being a culture vulture because he's obviously trying to take the culture or showing the culture or telling the same dope dealing American culture. I don't know what's going on now, but it like it seemed like they was trying to make martyrs, and that's kind of, it's a dangerous business. So I don't know, James, what's happening. I don't know what else is going on. And Danny, in order to be successful, you have to stay on top. You have to do favors for men and women. Absolutely. And that's what made Magic and Will Smith both so good. I mean, Magic was so, you go into the mansions and Magic be up in there. Just like OJ and Bill Cosby used to be up in the Playboy Club, and Magic was old enough to be in the Playboy Club too. He's, my age is old enough. Magic went through all that. But they showing him being Atomic Dog. But even before, and this is what I don't like. They mentioned Andre one time. Magic got a son named Andre. They ain't talked about, he had that son as a junior, I want to say. Andre got to be 40-something. Andre had to have been born in 77. No. Andre had to be born in 74 or 75. 76 at the latest. Andre had to be born maybe in 76. I think Andre was born with Magic's either his junior year, which made Andre born in 75, or his senior year, which would have been 76, 77. So Andre is at least that old. And nothing about him. He had a baby before he went to college. So they don't show that. While I watched the game, I did watch Girls Go Wild Exposed. I even took some notes on it. Okay, yeah, I saw that came on. I didn't tape it. They'll probably show it again. Good point about John being dirty. Gary Payton talks about John being the hardest guy to play against because he was a robot. I know he was speaking, but yeah, he was tough. He fought through picks like nobody else. Because of his size, it was easy for him to get down, and hit somebody low. I mean, he did all that. So, and he was in good shape. Hey, hard hitting. Hey, let's go Celtics. And I won a little bit of money today. Whoa, what is going on? There we go. Phil Jackson and Greg are MK Ultra handlers. No one can convince me otherwise, allegedly. Yeah, they are. They are. Phil Jackson took an odd route. Phil Jackson was probably CIA, I'm guessing. If you just followed his career and him playing the cool basketball player hippie, probably so. And remember that New York team, you had a senator come out of there and you had Phil Jackson. You had Bill Bradley. I think Bill Bradley's dead now. And you had Phil Jackson off of that team in New York. So, it was always like he was the player guy that, smoked weed, the hip white dude to smoke weed and then to take acid. So made you wonder how he got a long way with that and never got popped. More protest, people running on the court. This will keep happening, probably off stage. I didn't see it. They didn't even show it on my TV. I didn't even see it. So James says sometimes you face 100 saying Nipsey was undercover and was trying to extort him. They said they had on him of him. Ah, okay. They're trying to keep that going. There's people that ain't, want to keep in the news so they can't keep bringing up stuff. I've got 2 Nipsey songs to say that I knew who he was before he died. Can't really say that. But so I don't know. I don't really care about that kind of thing. I don't really, listen to that. But thanks for sharing it. What channel was that doc on? I want to analyze it as well. No, that was on was it Vice TV? Was it Vice TV, Lorenzo? I saw it. I think it was Vice. Well, they did what did they do last week? They did the Tommy Lee thing. Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson, that channel. They did that. Yeah, TNT. Yeah, TNT. Yeah, TNT. That's right. Yeah, yeah, that's what was on before. Yeah, TNT. It came on right after the game. Yeah. Yep, but I switched. I switched and started watching another game. What claims that he had on Nipsey doing? Oh, he was extorting him. Okay, I got you. Okay. Yeah, it's on TNT. It's probably playing again right now. You know how they do it. I believe they staged all the real flags and codes is there. The last time we see him on the world stage, he's toasting with his grandmother on the G6. Yeah. Okay, and Hassan. Okay, I never really watched a lot of his stuff. He was funny though. I think one time I watched him, he was like, I get my hats from this store. I guess people was like, hey, where you get your hats from? Who cares? What's up with Yankees fans throwing objects on the garden, on the Guardians? Hey, Nico, I didn't hear about that one. I don't know. I want to see what the protest was. Did you see the Yankees versus Cleveland game? No, I didn't. That's what Lorenzo just said. Yeah, no, I didn't see that. The baseball, I turned it because my remote started dying. I got like 1,000 double A's and don't have any D's. I think my son be taking my D's batteries too. But yeah, so I missed that. I had to catch it on Sports Center. I missed that. What's your take, Steve, coming off the bench? That adds a whole new dynamic. Their bench is weak, and Poole is showing that he's better starting. He's a quick starter too. He's gonna hit them first couple shots. Not to say Steph isn't, but to preserve Steph too a little bit, because Steph, Dewan B, he said it best. Steph gets weaker as the series goes by. They really kind of shelled him in them championship years, but it's to keep Steph healthy. It's to keep Steph healthy. That's all, and it gives them a greater dimension on the bench. So that's why he doesn't mind. And getting his game legs back to game lane, getting his game legs. Oh, that shouldn't be there. Getting his game legs back. Let's do this. Oops. Okay. There we go. So I just have to there we go. Oh well. Clay lost a step and he seems robotic to me now. He definitely lost a step. Mr. Clay is like, it's a bad car. He's very robotic. But he's definitely a step slower. He's definitely stiffer in his game. His game isn't as fluid. He's very stiff in his moves. Even if you watch his stepaways, it's his whole movement is a lot stiffer. Clay is looking like his old. I'll say, I don't know. He get a lot of open shots, looking like his old self, which makes the Warriors destined for the finals, especially with the injury to Devin Booker. As I was saying, Clay is a lot stiffer, but can he hit open shot? He can hit open shots. He puts an effort in defending. He did that from day one, even when he wasn't in the greatest playing shape. But his moves are stiffer, more regimented. He doesn't have as much shake, but again, he can separate, and he is still a consistent shooter. So next week they're going to have Wu-Tang versus On the Rich and Shameless on TNT. Okay, that's funny. Uh, Next week they're going to have Wu-Tang Rich and Shameless on TNT. That's funny. That's funny. What was the animation where they used to have the death matches on the animation? That shit used to be so funny. I think at one time I had all of them recorded. That shit was so funny back then. What made this? Okay. I cannot see any of that. Okay, I guess I'll have to do that. Oh, okay. Move this. Better. Better for you. It'd be better for you. It'd be better for you. Celebrity death matches. Yeah. Celebrity death matches. That shit was so funny. That was like must watch every week stuff. I used to love that stuff. Uh, uh, I am serious. It's a doc like the Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee stuff. Okay, I didn't see it. All right, I didn't see it. I did not see it. Next week they're going to have Wu-Tang versus Parko Brothers on the Rich and Shameless. Okay. All right. I guess I missed that part. So okay, yeah. If it ain't games and ain't a late game, that's why I'm surprised. We on Central Time, and you see the game didn't get over till midnight. And that was another thing with if we went to the game, getting my daughter home so late. She went to bed about 9:30. That's why y'all could have booed her if I came on. Like y'all could have personally booed her because we should have went to the game. And my friend was looking so cute. She was looking super cute. Oh, I was like, yes, we'll go stay at your place. Celebrity Robot Chicken took the place of Celebrity Death Match. Yeah, I did. Matter of fact, that should be on Cartoon Network. Robot Chicken still be on Cartoon Network. uh, but you know, I like humorous funny things. I don't like stupid. I can't stand stupid. The humorous things I don't quite mind. I don't quite mind the humorous things. There we go. I don't mind humorous things. I believe that Jason Tatum is up next as well. He is a part of the Kobe cult, just like Booker and Kyrie. Booker got his shine last year. Seems like Jason is blossoming right on time. Yeah, that could seem to be his narrative this year. They've been trying to put his narrative together. And I do see that as being his narrative this year. So I wouldn't be surprised. That wouldn't surprise me. I could kind of agree there. Boo your daughter. Definitely boo my daughter. Definitely boo my daughter. Cause she was looking at her. My friend was looking. She was like made up and like looking good. And my daughter was like just giving her that long eye. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Because we were supposed to go in the city anyway. So it would have been easy to, we were supposed to go somewhere anyway. So we could have went out to eat and went to the game because we were supposed to go to the city anyway. We ended up going. I always liked Aqua Teen, Hunger Force. I can deal with stupid sometimes. The jokes are funny as hell. I like Jason Tatum. I like Tatum too. I liked him at Duke. Um, I like his game. He is magic without the passing, but he is a better Gerving. He is Gerving. He is like Gerving, about the same size. He might be an inch taller than Gerving. Trying to think. He's not that killer scorer Gervin was. Because remember, Gervin gave you 50 like it's nothing. It was a bunch of games. Gervin had 30, 40 at halftime. Gervin could fill it up. Threes. Gervin always had that in his game because again, when he went in ABA, that was he played in the ABA for a year or two. Because remember, one time Gervin was with the Virginia Squires. I don't think Dr. J was there when Gervin was there. I don't think they played together. I think Gervin came after, right before they went to the before they became the Carolina Cougars, because the Squires ended up being the Cougars. But that's what he reminds me of. He reminds me of a game like Gervin. Eagle says, Tatum's one of my favorite players. Looks natural. Yeah. Tatum shot the ball terrible last 2 games and still was dominant, especially on defense. That's a good point. That's a good point. But as long as he go to the hole, that's he go to the hole a lot too. You go to the hole, that makes up. We've never seen KD play this trash. Tatum, best player in the series, and it ain't even close. Oh, I would agree. He is. But they getting penalized for everything. Wow, those came quick. Yeah. Tatum, nice, and he's an Air Jordan rep, getting all the exclusives. Yeah, his shoes today, those teal light, those was really tight. Those look nice. 15 plus years of Boondocks have aged like fine wine. Same with the Chappelle Show. I watched those shows recently and laughed like it was the first time, maybe because it's not politically correct. The Richard Pryor, not the Richard Pryor Boondocks, but the Richard Pryor Dynamite. I love that one. Black Dynamite with Richard Pryor on it. I like that one too. Why are they doing my team so dirty this year? I don't know, Rashawn. I don't know. I am cruising the YouTube streets and I see the investors are now into each other. See, fellas, these women ain't unified like you think. Okay. It was interesting. Sly did the show with one of the Moors, and he was talking about them Chicago Moors. And I don't know, I ran into some Chicago Moors that was pretty dirty Moors, and then the dude was like, well, we need to have a seer on here. And I ain't going to talk shit about a seer because there's a lot of good qualities. But, I can bring my brother on. He's got a seer, trying to get charged for that paperwork. Can't deny that. Can't deny that. And I talked to the Grand Sheik because, Cheeto Paul's cousin is the Grand Sheik. I said this many times. He's the Grand Sheik down in Miami. He called me, or I called him. I can't remember. I think he called me. I think the Grand Sheik called me. It's like, yeah, that dude don't be around us. That dude don't come to the temple. He don't help in the neighborhood. He lives out there with them peoples. He said, you know where he do them interviews in that park? He said, that's them people's park. So, but it was a good interview today. Jalen wearing purple and yellows, Kobe's. Imagine Celtics wearing like sneakers back in the 80s. I tell you who was sharp was Stephen A. Smith's suit yesterday. Did y'all see Stephen A. Smith's suit yesterday, last night? I forgot to mention that. His suit last night was one of the nicer suits I've ever. The pattern, the cut. I mean, that suit was like that was the best I've ever seen him dressed. That suit was beyond nice. I mean, he was just killing it last night. As much as the asshole he is, whoever picked that suit out and that pattern, that shit was on point. That shit was on point. It's like, to me, the best dressed player I've seen would be RG3 by far. Best dressed, the best looking in clothes is RG3. But that suit Stephen A. Smith had on like Friday night, that shit was tough. That Grizzly Wolves game was so rigged right in front of our face. 40 free throws, cat flopping the whole game, and Ja told not to play. Disgusting product the NBA is. But one thing you got to look at is Ja is small. Ja is small. And size and physicality kind of knock him off his game. I mean, look at his game, them other games. He's just getting free runs in the lane. But if you get physical with him, which is supposed to be playoff basketball, he kind of, he has trouble with size. He has trouble with size. But it is rigged. It is rigged. And they build you up to tear you down. Saying the hood, let them hoes fight. That's right, let them fight. That's funny. I ain't coming back to break that shit up. There you go. Like I said, 10, 15 feet from girls, women that was fighting with metal baseball bats with each other. And they was hitting each other like they had, the Star Wars little lasers and stuff. It was like clink, clink, clink. And then one girl missed and the other girl crushed her skull open like pow. And we was like right there, smoking the blood after we played. We was looking at it. I mean, they was fighting between the cars. And it was only 3 card links where they was fighting, but they was right in front of us. They was like, Star Wars for a minute. And my man was like, man, isn't this like watching live Star Wars? And I kind of laughed. I'm like, yes. And then the one girl missed and the other girl caught her, split her shit open with that bat. Pow! Can you take? And I mean, it knocked her ass out, but split her shit open. Metal bat right in the face and her shit. And then from then on, that girl had she had that, where she had them stitches from getting her head busted open. That girl got her good. Boom. We ain't tried to jump in that shit. We let them fight. Because it was just funny. It was like nobody else was having any kind of problems in the park. And then these girls got to talking shit. I don't know where the bats came from. I don't know. Because one girl, I saw her get her bat. And the other girl went to her car and got her bat. I'm like, how convenient. That was what I thought. I was like, well, that's convenient. Because the one girl grabbed her bat and started walking at her. Girl went in her car and pulled her bat. I thought she was about to pull a gun out, but she didn't. She pulled her bat out. I was like, oh, you coming at me with a bat? Where I'm at my car? Shit, she still pulling the gun out. She pulled a bat out. But then she did fuck the girl up. Like, got her good. Boom. I mean, and we was like, I mean, she was, right there. It was like a movie. She was that close to me watching that shit. Pow. Pow. Nobody now. Ben ain't gonna play. It's going 7. Oh, definitely going 7. Ben, I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know even what to say about Ben. Oh, yeah. That shit was funny. Lorenzo. To watch them women go at it. That was some funny shit. Ben Simmons, I don't know. I think the one thing he showed is these players, the players, foreign players ain't good as what they say. All that hype about him, they knew about him. All that hype, they knew about him. And as I've said many times, they did not play him at LSU in big-time games because it was going to expose him, that he wasn't as good as what they're saying because he played good in Australia against men. But they did not want to expose him to the top competition. That's why he went somewhere where he had to play hard. If he didn't want to play, he didn't have to play at all. Remember the coach that played with Shaq? I'm going to say at least he played with Chris Jackson or what, it's no disrespect, but that's all I remember. I don't really remember his other name. And the coach got fired, if I didn't mention that. So he would have been exposed then. If he would have went to a top flight college, he would have been exposed not shooting then. That is why they hit him at LSU. He would not have been the top pick. So, and Ja will be compared as well. Do you think Zion will bounce back after presumed weight loss and injuries? Because that's the only thing holding him back. He's a beast. I would say that they had to teach him really how to run, how to jump, and how to land. I think they did him a favor. Because young people, if you really look at the dudes, Magic is an example. Well, Magic played 2 years, so he went in the league at 20. What if you do a real study, like Jabbar played 20 years and still came out at 24, whereas Larry Bird, it hurt him coming out at 20. Well, Jabbar probably came out at 22. Larry Bird went in the NBA at 24, 25. It hurt him. Larry Bird only had a good run of about 4 years, really. He was only dominant 3 of the 4 years. Good player, but because he went in the league, he aged. In some cases, you see these guys that came in the league so young breaking down in their mid-30s. Who? Blake Griffin, 33, but he's done. And that's what I was saying. The difference between a basketball player and an athlete, Blake Griffin is a prime example. He's done at 33. You see how he couldn't even dunk over a little man? It was a shorter person. Didn't win the jump ball. Blake Griffin 6'10". but you see where he's not an athlete. So when the athleticism goes, he doesn't have the game to really adapt because he relies so much on just natural basketball ability, but not being a true athlete. And so it leaves people, it leaves them fast. Now I'm imagining seeing that Stone. Oh my goodness. And I mean, we was just at play ball and they just like broke off arguing like that. Me and T. I call him. T is like, yeah, man, he was going crazy what they told. They was like Star Wars. But it was funny the way the bats was hit, like almost like sword fight. You know, like when they be sword fight, you hear the it was like that, but the bats. And then one mistake and she was out. And then like soon as she cracked her and the girl fell and she was bleeding and shit, the girl walked away. Everybody turned around and doing their own thing. Nobody paid attention to the girl that collapsed, but the people with her. It was like nobody ran over. Like, you was doing that stupid shit. You antagonized her and she kicked your ass. So you tried to hit her, you shouldn't have missed. But everybody just got back to like, we turned around and started smoking. We didn't rush to her. We didn't rush. Apparently they refer to it as Zaddy now. I can't blame it. That's funny. Yeah, y'all think Nets and Celtics going 7? I don't think so. Even if they bring Simmons back, I don't see him being that big a difference. You get a point. LaMelo took his bruise in Australia and took the NBA by storm. Exactly. So that ain't some cats coming. Who's the guard that was with Axum? Ain't that his name? Dante Axum. He was another one overhyped. Should have never been a #1 pick. Should have never won. Gave up that cousin up. I seriously believe they still on his mind. That's why they started talking mental health around the league. Could have been, well, Kevin Love too, though. Kevin Love was having some issues too, they said. Brandon Roy broke down quickest. But Brandon Roy was hurt he was hurt in college too. And, you know, if you look at Brandon Roy, you know what they did is, let me see if I can give a good example. So, you know what cartilage is in your meniscus. And so what you have is you have your knee and you have that meniscus in there. So the meniscus is like in your knee, like across here. And it's like a fluid where your knee can kind of bounce. So it keeps that bone off. Well, Brandon Roy, all that got taken out back when they would do your meniscus and they would remove it. So it's just bone on bone. And so what they have is they have a fluid. They can shoot in your knee and temporarily give you that fluid, like a meniscus, the fluid in your knee. But I had a dude break down. It was I think it was on YouTube or Facebook, and they was breaking down Brandon Roy's exercise. And for the knee problems he had the wrong people training him for his rehab. This dude was like, this is the worst thing for this kind of injury. But yeah, he broke down quick. Blake Griffin falling off like quicksand for real. Falling quick. Yeah, he's 33 years old. LeBron, 37, can still get up and dunk on people. Not Blake Griffin. I don't see it. If it does, I say Nets only because the Red Sox came back 0-3 versus the Yankees back in 2004. But they'll flip where the New York team comes back 3 down to beat a Boston team. It's a different history too, though. It's a different history. I don't see. I don't know. I don't think so. Worst case scenario in 5. Celtics in 5. I think it's going to be Celtics in 4. They compared Exum to Kobe. Pure blasphemy. Oh, yeah. Overhyped, though. Overhyped. And that's what they've been doing with these European players. And don't think the NBA ain't Luka. Luka was put on a pro team at 13 because of the NBA. They pick these people, they look at their parents, and they can project how tall these people are going to be, and that's what it is. They seriously want the NBA to be 50% European-born people. People born out of America, they want it to be 50%. Because look at what that is also why they're padding the G League. They got the other league, PJ, whatever that league is called, for coming right out of high school. You won't necessarily go in the G League. They have a league for that. If you don't want to go to college right out of high school, they're happy. And now that they're letting older players play in the G League, they have another league. The NBA has set up another league. So there's 2 leagues that the NBA run. They are going to keep American players in that stuff. Just like, we don't hear of the thousands of South America players that never make the majors and end up their whole career in the minors. We don't hear about that because you can get buried under that. Yeah, Exum was never good. He should have never been a #1 pick. He never could play good D. Portland and the Pacers had the worst luck in NBA history. They let Portland win one. I knew Simmons overhyped back when he's at LSU. Of course. Why go there? Why go there? Why go to LSU? But they hit him down there. They didn't have very many. I don't think they had any national games, whole national games. I don't think LSU with Bill Simmons had one national game. And there was a reason, because if he would have played on the big stage, he would not have been the first pick. Because again, it's all hype. It's all hype. He was all hype. And again, I'll say this, it is potential. The NBA does pay players on potential, draft players on potential, but you could not look at him and say that his potential was the greatest. You couldn't. You just couldn't. You saw the lack of shooting. And at some point in his career, that was going to show up. He has a hitch in his three-point shot. He has a definitely hitch. Yep. Luka blew that game today, but he hit that one clutch three, though. That was deep. I'd say that pick and roll blew the game hard hitting. Mary J. Blige was at the net game tonight. I think she took Jay-Z's seat. I remember seeing Jay sat in the same seat. And the girl, the designer sat next to her. It was a girl with the braids and the blonde-like hair, too. That was the designer. She's in is it I Love When You Call Me Big Papa video? You remember her and Puffy are sitting in a hot tub together? That's their designer, their clothing designer. She was sitting there. Hey, Sean, what's happening? How is it? Well, you're in New Zealand, so I've been hearing a lot of stuff in Australia. How you doing, man? Thank you for joining. Yep, that was Joy Seat. I went opening night to the Nets versus Homer game. That was Joy Seat. Yeah, that was J Seat. That was J Seat. I went opening night to the Nets. Okay, because he had ownership of that. Okay. I feel the Pacers were going to win the championship the year that the Malice in the Palace shit happened. That's a good point. They had a really good team that year. They did. They did have a good team. And for certain teams with the script and everything, and it hurt. It helped Detroit, but it hurt the Pacers. It hurt Reggie Miller. And let's never forget what they did to Reggie Miller. He should hate Indiana for them burning his brand new house down. I think he paid $5 million for that house and they burned it down. What's your take on the frenzy in NFL free agency? The AFC is stacked this season, especially the West. Raiders, Chiefs, Broncos, and Chargers. 3 West teams make the playoffs. They could. I still ain't sold on Carr. He's too much like his brother. I'm not really sold on Derek Carr. He get a lot of calls. Accuracy ain't the greatest. Reads are kind of slow sometimes. The tight end is good. Defense is pretty steady. So we'll see. The Chiefs are going to be down. The Chiefs are going to keep going down. Broncos, that's going to be the interesting team is the Broncos, especially looking at who would you like the preseason bets that you can make the most money out of. The Broncos might be an interesting preseason bet. Luka holds the ball too long. I love Luka's game, but he got to get the ball up quicker. Brunson is balling. Yeah, Brunson is playing pretty good. I agree. Good, just cold weather, but bad floods and all. They're controlling the weather over here, and soon to be here too. Oh yeah, because it was nice here. It was 73 here today. Not a blistery day. The winds was still. It was too windy to play pickleball. That's why I was going to go in the city. I was going to see. I'm still not really moving around great, but it was some stuff me and my friend could have worked on. But my knee is still a little iffy to play, so I don't mind taking time off. But yeah, we had gusty wind, 73 and gusty wind. I mean, I've just now shut the windows. Because that hawk is coming back. We're going to have 20s in the nights next week. Man, that stadium looked dark the night they was fighting in Detroit. Yeah. It did. That's at the old Palace. You know, they tore that place down. The old Palace in Dearborn. Card like that. I'm a Raider for life. I was a Raider fan too. That's probably my second team past the Eagles. I like the Vikings because I live here, but you know, everybody knows I'm an Eagle fan. I was an AFL team. Raiders was my AFL team. Eagles was my NFL team. So that's how far back I go. Pace was doing great. 2 different playoff series versus Broad. First, Danny Granger got hurt and was never the same. Yeah, Danny Granger was decent. And Al Jefferson was cooking. Then he got hurt. Prince block on Reggie Miller. Yeah. Big Al. That's who they ended up trading the big ticket for. It was for Al. Oh, no, that was a different Horton. I'm sorry. Al Jefferson. Yeah, the Broncos. What? I knew PJ would say something. I think that's going to be my early betting though. Is on them. When you bet on the odds, I think I'm gonna take that bet with them. Pacers had to deal with MJ, Kobe, and Bron. Trust my best friend, a Pacer, so I hear it all the time. As a Pacer fan, okay. And I've been, I had the first year. I had a starter jacket. I wish I still had that jacket. That jacket would be worth a lot of money. But I had the first year the Timberwolves came out because my mother had been living here since '80. And the first year they came out, I had a starter jacket. Wolves. It said it was all white with the Timberwolves. Was it in front or the back? I want to say it was in front. That shit was sweet. If I still had just kept it, it's worth something. I'm not gonna go terribly late because I got a little person that'll be waking my ass up, talking about I'm hungry, even though there's plenty here to eat. But she'll be like, I'm hungry. You got to get up. Plus, the game comes on at noon my time tomorrow. Brunson is balling because he's playing for a contract. He'll be a free agent off season. You know how that goes. He'll be getting paid big time. I hope he does. I really do. Hope he does. Hope it works out for him. I know y'all talking about. I think his name is her name is Missa Hilton. Missa Hilton Brim. Yeah. Okay. I think it was a little bit of both. I think it was an easy fight though. I think it was an easy fight. They talking about that dude being the number one contender. Why didn't he fight Dante then? Why ain't they put him up against Dante? Because he couldn't have. That dude would not have been able to hang with Dante. That dude was tireder than Dante. That dude was that last round. When you watch the replays of that last round, mouth open the whole round. But step on the foot. Did you catch that shot? He stepped on his foot, hit him, and they let it go. So yeah, of course it was scripted, but he could whoop his ass. The fake injuries in the NBA playoffs are so obvious. It makes watching these games no enjoyable. Yeah, nothing to get emotional about for sure. They've taken all that from me, and I was younger. I just loved them. Just ordered the blue Russell Wilson jersey. Ooh, I want to see that. You show me a picture of that. That'd probably be sweet. Blue jerseys are sweet. I got a soft spot for the Eagles since that McNabb era. Oh, don't even talk about McNabb. You want me to argue with you. You want me to bring up some stuff. Because somebody stole. I had a real McNabb jersey. Not worn, but I mean a real one. A real number sewed in McNabb jersey. And from the time when I broke up with my ex, she paid me off. Some of my stuff was still at the house because we was fighting, going to court and shit. And when they brought me my stuff, my Michael Vick Eagle jersey was gone and my McNabb jersey was gone. And I love that McNabb jersey because Michael Vick was just a printed one because I couldn't, at the time when I got it, I wanted to have the fresh new stuff with Mike. I couldn't get even off the Eagles site at the time, they wasn't getting the sold ones. So I had to settle for a print one. Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen. I think putting around him, the NFL let him win. I think so. I think so too. I like Jalen. Yeah, probably need to get a Jalen jersey. Now you mentioned it. I was thinking I didn't want to get a Wirtz jersey. I never wanted to get a Wirtz jersey. The dude at Lids was kept like, "Oh, you like the Eagles? Get a Wirtz jersey." I'm like, "Hell no, I ain't getting a Wirtz jersey. Get paid something crazy." Remember last year they wasn't paying him, so yeah, somebody gonna pay him. Yeah, somebody is gonna pay him. Denver finally got a quarterback since Peyton. Oh, Peyton. Peyton was so sorry that last year. Tyson Fury, Oscar Francis, Nanga has a big package. I wonder if these puppets have to spread the. That's funny. They might. You never know. Vic McNabb jersey's gone. I'd be. Oh, I was. You see, I wore my Jerome one. I still had the Jerome one. I still had the Nick. Um, not Bonacani, the World War II dude. I think of his name in a minute. I still got them, but I do not have my Michael Vick and my McNabb jersey. And I got a deal on the McNabb jersey. I was at the Mall of America at Lids, and Lids had like half off. So the McNabb jersey went from something like 300 to still at the time when I saw it at the Mall of America, it was still 2 something. Don't you know, 6 months later, I'm at the Goodwill and I see the same jersey for like 20 bucks, 20, 30 bucks. It was the same jersey I had saw at the Mall of America, McNabb sewn jersey. I got it at a thrift store for like 30 bucks, no more than that. Same jersey, because I remember just looking at it and I'm pretty good on detail. Wasn't another one because couldn't have been too many McNabb jerseys in this state. So didn't pay the $200 for it in the store, was able to get it cheaper, able to get it for a steal. And then apparently somebody stole it from me. So I asked all the people, all their friends, none of them admitted taking it. So just lost it. I was mad. She sold it, I bet. I don't know. Maybe. I don't put nothing past her. She could have very well did it. I had a Vic Eagles joint. I have the Falcons one though. Yeah, I never got the Falcons one, but I definitely had the Eagles. I had a dowel of. I had bought the boys. Some. We had went to some place and they had Mike Vick dowels. Action figures. And I had bought 3 of them, and so I had one that I kept, and the boys had their own. And you know how they do. They found it and they end up tearing it up. Probably worth something. That was wild. Fury is wild, and he'll do anything for the bag. I wonder if that uppercut today was scripted. As I was saying, dude's mouth was open the whole fight. He was tired, and it didn't take much to get him in, stepping on his foot. Stepping on his foot. I mean, he clearly stepped on his foot, which is supposed to be not disqualification, but let dude recover. C West is going to be at war this season. Be honest, I love it though. We all going to beat up on each other. Yeah, it should be good. It's going to be interesting with the Vikings and this new young coach, because their Achilles heel has been DBs. They've had one thing Zimmer was good at is bringing linemen. He's a bad judge of DBs, and they never good DBs. Doesn't seem any. That was even a problem with Zimmer, was the coordinator of Cincinnati. So we'll see. And Kirk Cousins is one of the most efficient quarterbacks. I mean, the turnovers he had. I mean, look at all the games they lost by 7 points or less in the beginning of the season. And Kirk Cousins, he threw. Kirk Cousins was so accurate. He had to do the interceptions where they're rushing him and he throws it to the lineman. I mean, that's how accurate he was downfield. Look at some of his interceptions. It was dudes close to him where he had to toss it to him. He was so accurate. White was swinging all wild like Wilder. He kept trying to bust him in the face with that elbow, though. I tell you that. He kept trying to get that elbow, to bust him right there and bust it open. Because that was Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson was elbow, punch. Elbow, follow with a punch. He was good at that. He'd elbow you, and then he'd follow the elbow with a punch. Boom, boom. Mike was very dirty. But a lot of his fights were scripted, too. A lot of his Tyson fights are scripted. So he wasn't the Superman they want everybody to think he is. How long I've been going? Okay, I'll go a little longer. Oh, won't you stay? Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is the highest paid and best mediocre quarterback in the league. And the best mediocre quarterback in it. I don't know if he's mediocre. Kirk can put it there. Kirk can put it there. He really can. He can sling the ball. You know, I hated on him because of RG3, but Kirk can sling the ball. I mean, again, they got to script his interceptions pretty obvious because if not, he puts the ball there. Weird how his first name is Tyson. Yeah, he named after Mike Tyson. His father, like them Furies is look up their history. Them Furies go back. Like, you know, his great grandfather was a boxer. So they've always been boxing, cheating boxers in Britain. Some people say, what's that Brad Pitt movie where they play the, you know, they over the trailers and stuff. That some of them is kind of based on some of Fury's relatives. They're called Cockaneries or something where Brad Pitt played them. And remember they bring the heavyweight champion in and Brad Pitt knocks him out. Some of them say that's some of Fury's people. Now, it could be. Who I got the information bit could be wrong. I can't think of the movie, though. It's that movie where Brad Pitt was like a gypsy. They was like British gypsies, though. Yeah, Kirk is kind of nice. He just needs a stacked team. The Vikings ain't bad. They still got Jefferson coming back. You got a point there. Kirk can ball. He proved it in Washington multiple times as well, even when the coaching staff was against him. Well, it wasn't good for him or RG3 up in Washington. Schottenheimer and them was, you know, trying to keep their jobs. They was hedging their bet by bringing Kurt in. And that just, you know, gave a bad atmosphere for both players. You know, it pitted, you know, again, DC, European against a melanated fella, you know, that kind of thing. So, I don't know. I didn't know OG thanks makes sense. Okay. So I've watched, you know, plenty of Kurt to know that Kurt is all right. Was Kurt better than RG3? Better dropback passer for sure. RG3 just, I thought RG3 was a better dropback passer than Kaepernick. Faster, definitely faster than Kaepernick. Kaepernick was kind of up and down, not as shifty. Again, to be an option quarterback, once you hit the seams, you ain't got to be shifty. RG3 has some shiftiness in him. Kaepernick didn't. He'd run Eric Dickerson, get open, straight up. He ain't making nobody miss. And not very accurate. Kaepernick, I did a perfect, and it wasn't hating on him. You know, I went through some film, and I showed people where he was not accurate, where he did not make the right reads. That's all. It was easy to break down, you know, what he was. And yeah, the games are scripted, but sometimes you got to play. I mean, despite games being scripted, they ask you to play sometime, and Kaepernick couldn't perform. Am I tripping? Are they showing Morant and Cat's dads a lot? You ain't tripping. What did Jefferson? Jefferson called him Usher because with the dark shades, he looked like Usher for a second there. I kind of laughed. I don't know if y'all caught that. He called him Usher. They let him talk the game before. The game they blew the big lead, they let him talk. They interviewed them both. But Richard Jefferson called him Usher. He's like, is that Usher? Is that Usher? He's like, you know, that's Jay's dad. They became friends with him and they telling the story. But he did look like Usher. And why they wear a mask? I don't get it. Why they wearing a mask? You ain't got to wear a mask here. You ain't got to wear a mask in that joint. So why they wearing a mask? The game, Boston's coach in New York, he does an interview. He's wearing a mask. He's on the sideline and the mask is under his chin. Man, you see what they're just, that propaganda? It's just propaganda. Propaganda. Yep, a whole lot. Cat Pop's either high degree Mason or military. I would say Mason. You say C had the Howard shirt on, so he's probably, you know, in some fraternity if he went to Howard. What's your take on Kyler Murray's drama? Do you think he deserves his money, even with 2 years left on his rookie contract? With 3-year option, he's been injury prone as well. It's going to be hard. No, he'll get his money. I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to make them give you your money. That's what the running back for the Cowboys did. You got to make them. You got to sit out to get that money now. Get paid now. Because if you go back to the strike, And what the lineman did, the lineman was really jealous of the rookies coming in and making more money that first year than the lineman would make his whole career. So what the lineman really voted in was screw the rookies and make rookies 5 years for football, 5 years. And the average NFL career is what, 2.5 years? And they make you stay with a team for 5 years. And remember, you can only come out what as a junior. So you're gonna be at least 21. You got to play your rookie deal for 5 years. So that's the only thing they got to say, screw you. You're gonna pay me now in bonus. The contract's gonna stay the same, but you're gonna pay me now in bonus. So you're gonna give me that extra money in bonus now, and then give me the extension. It's kicking in 2-3 years. That's the way they'll get their money. That's the only leverage they have, because they're slaves. It's wrong. It should be 2-3 years. That's it. But see, again, they know everybody was gonna go away from these small media teams. So it's slavery, almost rich slavery. Wearing masks because they lied about 9 family members passing because of it. There you go. I know I was at the Grizzlies game. Only personnel was wearing it. Now the personnel around here don't even wear it no more. I said it when the Wolves all will come back and win. Wolves going to the Western Conference Finals. I think the Wolves going to beat them. That's a hard matchup for them. The Wolves match up well for them. They really do. It's going down the year after year in the West. They play winner of Utah-Dallas series. That's a good point. And they match up well with both of those teams. But of course, both of those teams are the great hype. So they're going to put the hype to that. Ooh, the great hype team. So, well, let me read the divination because I can't go on too late tonight, because I'm going to have a young person looking at me in the face telling me they're hungry, even though it's a bunch of stuff to eat. But tonight we are... I grabbed the wrong card. That dyslexia kicked in again. Definitely grabbed the wrong card. Bear with me. Like Brother DeMarco be saying, bear with me. No shade on you, DeMarco. We all human, that's all. We all human. It is. Yeah, because I'm looking at the card and I knew it was the wrong color. It's Chichin, or monkey. Chichwin, or monkey. The qualities: innocence, spontaneity, healing the inner child, humor, artistry, monkey, trickster, disruption, transparency, divine child. Symbols are dolphin, monkey, throat chakra, number 11, aqua blue. Herbs are raspberry or mint. Flowers are daisy, flower essence, zenna, laughter. Scents are cinnamon or orange or potpourri. Stones are aquamarine, blue fluorite, turquoise, or blue topaz. It's a water element. Direction is from the west. I know that because I prayed this morning to the north. Shadow wisdom, being too serious. Issues of speaking your truth. Misuse of humor, insensitivity, or sarcasm. Too much sarcasm. Lighten up. Speak your truth directly. Be vulnerable, sensitive, and open-hearted. Accepts life's disruptions with good humor. Reaccess your natural sensitivity by healing the wounding of your inner child. Harmonic wisdom is humor. Mudra. So they're saying that the mudra is... Oh, right here. The mudra is... Okay, this sounds like some made-up shit here. It sounds like some made-up shit. Let's see. So they're saying smile, put your hands on your heart, and then do like this and say, I am an innocent and open-hearted, transparent, divine child. Yeah, that's some made-up shit there. That's definitely. And then the meditation. I am the crystallization of the sunlight and laughter. And let's see, did I get this right? I did not. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't get this right either. I did not. The wrong card I grabbed. And I'm gonna, let's see. Right here. Okay. This is it. Chichen. So the light pulse this is the 11th of the 20 light pulses in the sacred token. In the base energy of the curious light pulse is a strong need to be in the limelight. You need to gain attention of the public, and usually do. You are the politician or the actor. You are born in the transforming light pulse of Chichen. You will be attracted to the activities like teaching, performance, and presentation of all kinds. You love to play, have many interests and hobbies. The challenge for Chichen is to balance play with work. Laziness can be a problem when dealt with. Chichen can be successful in a public way. And this would be the light pulse. Now, this book, this is another divination book on the Mayan energy that can really put you in touch with those kind of energies. So, yeah, as I get all this together, I'm gonna start, doing the readings and stuff. I'm kind of trying to get everything together and give vulnerable, valuable information out for real, and get more and more people in touch with this Mayan energy. It was like Sly had the Moors on there. If I see a Moor that they really ain't about dogma and they're about trying to learn this science, I would be open. Because I don't even think I need permission anymore to expose to share the information, because the person that gave me the information, I feel that Turtle Gang is definitely, I think he's definitely sold it in people's. A lot of them New York cats, you see that kind of thing, and I don't know. He's all of a sudden he's believing the African theory and the Homo sapien bullshit. None of that shit is real. None of that Darwinism, Homo sapien shit is real. That's some made up shit to try to tell us what we are. That's made up shit. As I said before, civilization was like nothing, and it turned into something almost. All that shit that. I mean, it makes no sense that just people sitting around one day, see a fire, like the Quest for Fire movie, one day they see a fire and then go over there and get it. Do y'all remember Quest for Fire, Radon Chong, where dude is really giving it to Radon Chong? But anyway, so they see the fire. So they show that, they're supposed to be these cavemen in the Caucasus Mountains. They see a tree catch on fire. They take the fire back to the cave and they party and shit. The cavemen is going crazy, And then the fire goes out. They mad the motherfucker at each other. It was like when they see women bending over at the water hole, they just run up to the women. And I called it Quest for Fire. They just take it. But that is what they want you to believe. They want you to believe that simple, that stupid shit. But at the same time, they try to show you reality, the real shit, because they show a more advanced tribe, which, yeah. As I read more, they had to have civilization builders. Sean Taylor, one of the best ever. No, that is me. That's me beating up on them Rams, even though they called me out of bounds. That's me. In black and white. That was from the yearbook. That picture was in our yearbook. That's me beating a mug. It's just he threw it too far out of bounds. AD still always question how we get to this point of civilization. Exactly. This shit ain't old. I mean, that's the thing that the mud flood thing does point out, that this shit ain't old. It is not old. It is not old. And that's what mud flood points out. So that's the thing. The question is, how old is this stuff really? Like, these names they come up with the past, and what really helped Europeans take over everything was just the simple wizard stuff of guns. When they went into these countries and they shouldn't have been able to go to sleep, everybody should have killed them while they slept. I mean, they tell you Cortez took over all of South America, hundreds of millions of people, with basically 500 people something like 5 guns, 20, 30 horses. That's it. And after they killed all the nobles, they tell you they killed 5,000 nobles with just swords, which hard to believe. That's a lot of killing. Again, you telling me 30 or 40 people with swords can kill 5,000 people. That's the story not to believe. So it's no way they could have slept, is my point. It's no way they could have slept. No way. No way Cortez and his men could have slept. They would have been fighting 24 hours a day, and there's no way they could have done that. So that's why history has to be. No, I went to A&T. I just played for A&T. That's from the college. That's from my college days. I don't know why I didn't get the color ones made. Haven't got to play. No, that is me back there. That ain't the Raiders. That is Winston-Salem State in North Carolina A&T, and the first time Aggie Stadium was played in, the very first game. Yep. No, I never played for the Raiders. I ain't gonna tell them lies. It's too easy to get caught up in lies. Well, I used to play so and so, and it's too many motherfuckers that can look that shit up and say, no, you didn't. So don't tell those lies. Don't tell those kind of lies, because I don't have to. That wasn't my calling, and I'm happy with what I did. So no, I didn't play for the Raiders. That is from A&T, but that is black and white because it was in the yearbook. They put yearbook before they put color pictures of us in. And then the next year they put black and white, and they put the team picture. Like if you look at the team picture, everything you need a magnifying glasses. The dude took it from so far away. Okay, yeah. No, that's just black and white. That ain't Raiders colors, but that's me catching it. If you can see it. So I wish everybody more. I think I got all the notes from the game off. Yeah, this is all the notes. I don't think I took yeah, I didn't take any more notes. And Super Sly be talking shit. They used to always talk shit about me keeping this. And then you see Sly be keeping notes too. So I see you keeping notes, Sly. And my son's doing better. He felt better today. So that's a plus. Thank everybody. I thank you for the positive energy. I really do. And more, it all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homeland. They knew that they had exact number of years and days before they would disappear off the earth as a culture and a lifestyle. But the civilization would build to a gentle love. They lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles in the great serpent. And to all my relatives out there, I am another yourself, so treat me as yourself. And as you get into your creation ball field, they've tricked you into thinking it's a bed. May you go into your dream screen unbothered, unencumbered. May nothing attack you. May everything in your house protect you. And those of you who are working, may you work safely. Maybe you arrive home at the end of your time. May you arrive home safely. And so may everything that you're wearing be enough to protect you and get you through the day. And remember, love just is. It has no strings. And I want to give up this time enough for love. I want to start adding this. Remember, the days are long, but the years are short. The days are long, but the years are short. That's a little time walking information too. It ain't in time walking papers, but that's some time walking information too. So the days are long, but the years are short. So with that, I will bid you adieu. And yes, I'll be on tomorrow. Tomorrow is my Friday. Oh, the Yankees fans was throwing shit at Cleveland on the field. It got ugly. That's what somebody was saying. I'm gonna have to check it out. But you should get to seeing that ugly play. Cheating, folks. That's what happened. Catch up with them. But I'll check that out. I watched the Twins play for a minute. No hockey today. Yeah. No, hockey was last night. They won 6-2, 6-3. They beat, I want to say they beat San Jose last night. Because, it'd be like them boring games. I'll watch hockey in a minute. I say, like, of NBA, if it ain't my favorite teams, and like right now, I guess my favorite team used to be the Lakers because I'm a Wilt Chamberlain fan. So I was a Laker fan from Wilt going into Magic. Jerry West, Elgin Baylor fan too. I was kind of turned when Shaq left, but I realized I was more of a Laker fan than a Shaq fan. But since I live here, I'm more of a Timberwolves fan. But no, I never really was a big Kobe fan either. I always saw a lot of ritual and shit. And I don't know. I just remember his games of shooting air balls against Utah. And you can say he was a rookie. I don't care. He just, a lot of hype there. A lot of hype. And his 63-point game, his last game, 60 points on 50 shots. Come on. That game was nothing but the Globetrotters. Now, if Lobo see this, that's what you should do. Lobo, do a video of Kobe last game and play Globetrotter music to it. And it's nothing but a Globetrotter performance. Even I might try doing that to show you when they're, you can look at the NBA games and you can tell when they're setting up fixed plays. I guess that's the next thing I want everybody to pay attention to. Just like you look at when the Globetrotters put in the dudes who do the tricks. Be the same dudes. They put the same guys in to do the tricks. The dudes who hoop, they put them in and they just hoop. That's when they play music, which the NBA now does. Like, watch when they play music in the NBA now. During play. They didn't used to do that. They picked that up from Globetrotters. But you can almost predict when they're going to start doing scripted plays. And I mean scripted as taking charge of the game. Taking charge of the game, scripted plays. So I want y'all to peep that out. That's one thing to look at as you look at the games. And even look at the games. And that's where the inline betting is so cool, because it's a point where you see the script and you see who's more than likely to win. Like tonight, what they did. So didn't the games go like this? 3-1, 2-2. Didn't the games end up like that? Two teams went 2-2. Two teams went 3-1. Or 1-3. Or no, 0-3. Yeah. So two games went 0-3. Two games went 2-2. So do you see how they do it? If I remember right. So that's how they script this stuff. So y'all know how I do. You know how we talk a little different in the Midwest. So, definitely. Oh, PJ, what does the Guardian stuff look like? I haven't even checked it out. I haven't even checked the Guardian stuff out. So I'm going to have to check that out. So again, this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. I'm your super funky host, Big Pontiac. And definitely till we meet again, say less.